From Dierks Bentley Broken Branches. Look, I know a lot of folks aren't checking the way they should for a new Dierks Bentley album, but he is one of the bright spots in mainstream country even if his single choices tend to be pretty bad. Pushing a She Hates Me by Puddle of Mudd interpolation as your lead-off single for this, it's an utterly wrong-headed move, even from someone who tolerates She Hates Me more than most. And given that country hasn't exactly had a great 2025, I hope some of that quality would stick around. And look, I don't know. Dierks Bentley's at his best when he's in weird creative rabbit holes, and the loose theme that he described for this album, country music representing the imperfect individuals in a messy community that could all still come together on one family tree, it feels like a flimsy justification for an album with his fewest co-writing credits since he had to win back the mainstream post Up on the Ridge in the early 2010s. Not saying this is precisely bad, it's nowhere near his worst when Black still exists, mostly because John Randall returning on production is a great burnished tempering influence for Ross Copperman in order to deliver a warm, windswept sonic palette. Although the reverb abuse can be a bit much, and I have no idea how the vocal mastering on the title track with John Anderson and Riley Green sounds so cruddy, even if Dierks Bentley still has a ton of husky, hangdog charisma. But let's be real, a lot of these songs feel shockingly anonymous, well chosen but rarely distinctive, or at least they give me the impression that Dierks Bentley really wants to disappear back into his own quiet spaces to do his own thing again, or just be with his family more. Yes, I really like that he gave Steven Wilson Jr. a chance to shine on the opening track Cold Beer Can, and he's got great chemistry with Miranda Lambert on Never You, and the odd, grungy swerve of Jesus Loves Me, it dumps a wet blanket on a lot of the religious iconography in its heartbreak despite religion. I mean, certainly like it more than whenever Morgan Wallen tries this, but those feel like odd exceptions compared to a pretty stock track list full of Music Row ringers. Dierks Bentley's nearly 50. He's had that consistent back and forth with Music Row. You would think he'd have the clout and freedom by now to play his own game and get a decent promotional budget for his trouble, which is why my favorite songs here, unsurprisingly, they're the acoustic ballad Off the Map and the banjo-rich rollicking closer Don't Cry For Me, which really feels like a career encore that he already did on the mountain 7 years ago. But when the most consistent word that springs to mind is safe, lacking some of the flavor or thoughtfulness or even the goofy humor that's elevated Dierks Bentley in the past, even if I think this is ultimately pretty decent, is not exceptional nor anything you haven't heard before. If you're curious, it's worth a listen, but at this point, I just want more hot country nights.